Welcome everybody, it's your boy Zell May, birthday week, and of course I'm here with the other birthday week.
Classic Ruby. I'm gonna have to change. Not yet, because I don't cross any huge barriers this year, but like next year. None of your business. For those people who might be lurking, and you know what I'm talking about, Just Jay, who might be lurking, trying to hear me say what age I'm turning this year, because I wouldn't tell you last week. I ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing. A woman, a lady, never tells her age. How you doing this lovely birthday week, Sal? You feeling good?
I'm blessed, busy as ever, but we're gonna enjoy it. We're gonna enjoy it. I see Just Jay, I see Done teasing. We got a good show today. Y'all saw the title. Yes, but man did say he wanted to become a dog. It was his dream.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, anyways, for the more normal of y'all, including Mama Belle, shout out to you. Thank you for coming. Today we also have a very, 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 very special, super awesome, exciting addition to our Ebony Excellence. And I can't wait to show y'all. I can't wait to share it with y'all. Yeah, I'm a little bit putting all her business out there and whatever, but it's got a very happy ending, and I am super, super proud of her. And I know her personally, and this is why we're doing it. Y'all have known her and seen her as well. So it's going to be super exciting. So glad that Rosalind could make it here for this. I should probably tell the guest of honor that we live now. I'm going to do that. It's going to be fine. Yeah.
So yeah, we have to tell. We have to tell them the guest of honor to show up. But I see the people in the chat. We appreciate y'all. We ain't gonna waste too much of your time. I know y'all have to get out there, and mostly we have to get out of here because it's our birthday week.
Mostly, yeah.
Yes. So we're gonna get started. Let's start off with our first story. It's a heroic story, so I hope y'all enjoy it.
You're attacking your mind.
The nigga is me, I'm him, I'm not them. I'm him Jones, I'm him Duncan. I will beat a nigga ass and stomp him in my Timberlands.
We're in the newsroom again because this is regular news. This is not entertainment news. That's when I go to my gaming room as entertainment. Because this is serious. And this is seriously a great story for a heroic father. A Texas father smashes windshield to save crying baby from scorching car as heat wave continues to sweep in the U.S. Now we have multiple stories here. The heat wave that continuously ransacks Texas and Florida, setting records of how many days of 100 degrees, which is not normal. To the coral reefs are dying, which protect from hurricanes. So it's going to be a lot of problems hurricane season in Florida if this continues to happen. But again, to some, climate change don't exist, right? Global warming and all that stuff don't exist, even though we're in a massive heat wave across the country with temperatures that on average that we have never seen, but it doesn't exist. But this is not about that. This is about this heroic father. I want to show this. Look at this man. This man saw a crying baby in a scorching hot car and did this. Let's go up. Doing everything he can to get out. We don't care about your car window. I'm 100%. Shout out to him. We getting the baby out. Look at a whole community. Let's get the baby out. We don't care about this car. They'll call you just left the baby and they call you sicko. Now they figuring out how to get in. You're going through the window as you should. And we got the baby out the car. Let's go. Let's go. Shout out to them. Let's go. We support this behavior. Now let's read the story. Post-panic footage shows the moment a forgotten baby was saved from a scorching hot car in Texas earlier this week. As meteorologists warn, the heat wave that has been baking the southwestern states all summer will soon expand east. A crowd can be seen in the video surrounding the vehicle as people work to smash the windshield to save a baby who had been forgotten inside of it on a day the heat index topped 100 degrees. Listen, it's a heat wave. I don't know. What is wrong with people? A bystander filming the stunning rescue in the parking lot of a gas station in Harlingen, a city in the southernmost point of Texas. Footage shows the windshield broken. They were able to gain access to the vehicle, where a woman lifted the child to someone outside the car. It was not immediately clear how long the baby had been left inside the car, but the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says it only takes 10 minutes for a car to heat up by 20 degrees. The terrifying ordeal comes as the heat wave continues to move through the southwestern region of the country. The potential heat wave is stemming from the heat that has been plaguing the Southwest and some in the West for much of this July. Fox forecast meteorologist Cody Brad told the Post the big area of high pressure is finally expanding. We don't care about that. It's moving east, by the way, for those in the eastern state. As the high pressure system moves east, steamy temperatures at upper 90s will hit central and eastern states, including New York. Oh, y'all get what we get. It is nice, boy. I'm telling you, it's hot down here. Some 250 million Americans will be experiencing swelling conditions in the upper air pattern shifts, forcing a dangerous heat wave emitting in the East Coast. I don't wish this on nobody. I hope it be better. At least 2/3 of the country will experience temperature in excess of 9 degrees this week. I don't wish none of this on nobody. This is just like a report on it, but thank God he said that. By the way, stop leaving y'all babies in the car. It is hot. They didn't tell us what happened. I want to know what happened to the parent. Who are the parents? Did we ever find them out? It's a HEB. Y'all don't know HEB. That's a Texas thing. It's in the grocery store, but it's a gas station in the front, probably in front of the HEB. But shout out to these people. It's a group of people did everything they could to get this baby out this sweltering car. We know nothing about what the parents said. Did they run off? We know no information. I hope we do, and I will update you once we find more information. I'm seriously, I don't know what's going on because we don't know. Trying to look, it doesn't show anything else about who's the mother. Anything, let's see what the comments. Great save, however, the tip for next time. Hopefully there won't be one. Side window break much easier than windshield. That's something for y'all, good for y'all to know. True, but it's not clear if the access to break the side window was there. All here, but once there is someone to call, why would they risk passing it if it through a broken glass? But like I said, we don't know the parents. We don't know the situation. We don't know how long the baby was in the car. Hopefully it wasn't that long. Hopefully the baby's good. Hopefully we get an update on the baby soon. All these negative things, we'll see. But shout out to his father doing this amazing work. Breaking the window out the car. Keep your kids out the sweat and heat. This is insane. Please. Thank you. Peace. Like and subscribe. All that stuff. Hit that notification bell. Peace. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's sweltering heat. We are in a hot global boiling, as some people say, and people are leaving kids in their car. Thank God these people were there and saw it and did whatever it took to get them out.
I feel like though, and I don't know if it's the same story, because sadly multiple of these happen every year. But I do feel like in this case, it was actually the parents that were asking for help because they didn't leave the kid in the car. They accidentally locked the kid in the car. So I don't know if it's that the car has like an automatic lock type thing or whatever, or, you know, it locks after a certain amount of time and the keys were in the car and baby's still in the car. But I believe that was the situation, is that it was like, they were there. They didn't just leave the kid in the car. They had just accidentally locked the kid in the car. That's what I believe. If I think this is the same situation where, you know, someone had been commenting in the Reddit. That's where I saw it, in the Reddit comments, and saying, I know this family and this was not, there's not going to be charges or negligence or whatever. It was a common mistake. Like they were like, no, I don't care. Ruin my whole car. Just get my kid out. Like, you know, and that's why the kid was okay, because it was immediate response, right? So that's what they say. That's what they say.
Well, that's fair. I do appreciate that information. Like I said, that article said nothing about any of that. So I'm glad that was the situation.
Well, I mean, me too, honestly. I mean, as long as the kid was okay, I think that's the most important part of all of it, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, then. Well, I guess what we need to do then is just take a look at our second story of the night. It's about another kid, and we don't know if this kid's going to be okay or not. Let's take a look. Now, y'all, when you were a kid, what are some of the things you thought of when it came to summertime? Right? For me, I could think of pools and swimming, definitely fairs, amusement parks, and amusement rides, right? And it didn't matter that every single year there was a death here at the CNE, okay, Canadian National Exhibition, or the X. Because it's basically like a temporary amusement park that a bunch of like 14, well, not 14, but like, you know, like teenagers work at, and therefore they actually are contracted teenagers to set up and then take down the rides.
With the C&E set to open in just a matter of hours, a ride had to be taken down last night over safety concerns, and a picture of that tilted slide is now making the rounds on social media. This picture hit the Reddit boards last night, showing the massive Euroslide tilting precariously. Comments about safety quickly followed. Tell me what happened with that ride during setup last night.
So we had a malfunction with our hydraulic lifting system that brings that slide up into the air. And so it sat in that position overnight while we got 2 cranes. We lowered it down safely, and then we've taken that ride out of service. TSSA goes through an initial inspection with every one of our devices before it releases it for riders to the public. And the big one for us is it's the guys that run these rides do an inspection every morning, and that's the most important one. They go through a ride-specific checklist of all the things that they have to look for, and those are the guys that are with the rides all season long.
And these rides do move around the country.
Absolutely. We've been in Canada since June. We played Brandon, Winnipeg, Calgary, Edmonton, Regina, Saskatoon. And also the good part is that we've had inspections also in Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and Alberta before we arrived here at Ontario at the C&E.
C&E, the gates will be opening for the first time in 3 years at 10 a.m. Shauna Hunt, City News.
So something always goes wrong. Something always goes wrong. It's terrible. And yet somehow or another, we would always take ourselves down to the X. Every year. I don't know. Maybe it's because teens think they're invincible. And sad to say that that trend never went away. And so yet again, we have yet another story at yet another amusement park where a child is being injured because they have been thrown out of what was supposed to be a safe and secure ride. Let's take a look at this video. Insane what's going on. And for the record, I didn't know there was any type of amusement park rides in Illinois. Shar, you're going to have to let me know something, because I didn't know about this. I didn't know that there was amusement parks in Chicago. I don't know. Well, yeah, okay, that's Chicago. But I didn't know there were amusement parks in, like, Illinois. Like, like, oh, there's Busch Gardens at this place. I knew about all these different places in America. Never knew that there was anything in Illinois. Who knew? All right.
It's happened again. Another day at an amusement park turns to terror as a 10-year-old boy is thrown from a ride. The ride, called Moby Dick, is supposed to hold you in place with a shoulder bar, but somehow the boy slid off and fell 20 feet to the ground. Stephen Fabian reports.
Young Huntley Daniels was at a festival an hour outside Chicago when he plunged out of the ride. His stunned mom watched the terror unfold and was inconsolable.
Yeah.
His little sister blew kisses as her brother was airlifted to the hospital. The Moby Dick ride is featured at multiple locations across the USA, and as you can see, there's a shoulder harness that's supposed to keep riders safe and secure. When I rode the Moby Dick at a park in New Jersey today, my shoulder latch was locked and kept me in place. I feel the harness is on pretty tight. So how did this 10-year-old fall out in mid-flight? Elliot Johnson says he was on the same ride as young Huntley Daniels, and his shoulder latch became dislodged.
My bar was coming up over my head, so I was trying every time I went up, because it was going up and I was almost about to fall out, I would slam down to close it.
Heather Hippolito says her kids also rode Moby Dick at the festival a week ago, and she saw their shoulder harness lifting up.
My youngest son, Junior, started freaking out, screaming stop, and then my 8-year-old Blake started crying.
Yeah!
And they were literally holding on to their shoulder things.
The incident comes 2 weeks after another scare at an amusement park in Charlotte.
No, let's talk about this one for a second. So you're trying to tell me person after person experienced this. I'm sure that if not the terrified children, then the terrified parents have reported this consistently. And yet no one did anything about it? It took this kid being thrown 20 feet onto the ground for them to pay attention to what is going on here. How in the world do you have children in a ride that goes 20 feet in the air? Children. And you just let the lap bar go all willy-nilly, the shoulder harness go all willy-nilly? See? Y'all.
where a visitor saw a crack in a support pillar on a roller coaster as riders passed over it. 4 days later, at an amusement park in Wisconsin, a ride turned terrifying when people were trapped upside down for nearly 4 hours.
Oh my goodness.
It suggests to me that we're not doing something right.
Really?
It's not our purpose, and amusement rides are not designed to hurt people. For a child to be thrown from a ride, there's got to be some human involvement here somewhere.
Illinois officials had inspected Moby Dick this year and said it was safe to operate. We reached out to the makers of the ride as well as the company that leased it to the carnival and did not hear back.
I mean, let's be real. Is anyone shocked by this story and all of the human negligence that goes into this? Because first of all, again, they have a bunch of teenagers setting up and taking down these rides. They have engineers design them. They don't have engineers set them up and check on them frequently. It's a bunch of kids, right? And then kids are only going to do what they're trained to do because they're children. They're not engineers. Also, I don't blame the kids who work there because they're kids. I blame the owners and managers of these amusement park rides. When are we all going to learn as adults / parents, / older, riders or whatever, and refuse to patronage these places until they clean up their acts, until they actually do something to give us some kind of guarantee that our children, that our friends, family, whoever, loved ones, ourselves are not going to be horribly injured, disfigured, or even lose our lives.
Well, as far as the CNE will open up in about 3 weeks' time, and it does have a similar ride. It's been operating for about 20 years, but will no longer be operating this year in light of what has happened in Ohio. This is video just moments before the ride breaks apart.
It just flew off. The whole thing flew off. Her leg hit. When her leg hit, her leg just like flew. Her whole leg.
Riders tumbled nearly 2 stories to the ground after the swinging ride called the Fireball malfunctioned.
And then the dude hit the ground. He wasn't breathing. None of them was.
18-year-old Marine Tyler Jarrell was killed. Several others were injured. This happened on the opening day of the Ohio State Fair. Inspectors say they examined the ride many times. Records show the Fireball passed several inspections.
It's important to remember that amusement rides are mechanized pieces of equipment. They can fail from time to time.
In Ontario, we have these very strict standards that would limit something like this from happening. Not only does TSSA inspect the device itself before it's put into operation for the season, but we also certify mechanics.
But there have been tragedies at Ontario fairs in the past. In 1998, Jerome Charon died in a reverse bungee ride at the Ottawa exhibition after his harness detached. Provincial inspectors had examined the ride and approved it a few days before the incident. We are also learning something new. The manufacturer of that thrill ride in the U.S. has actually asked for the ride to be taken out of all fairs around the world. So this ride will be shut down, and this is the latest that we're hearing. As for the ride that's supposed to take place at the CNE says it's unclear if this ride will be brought back or when it will be brought back.
For trying to get 30 seconds to 2 minutes of fun on some park ride after paying oftentimes exorbitant entry rate fees. Insane. Let me know what y'all think about this. I can't even believe that yet again we're hearing about such continued negligence, to the point where this is not a one-off scenario, to the point where everyone's shoulder bars keep lifting, and luckily these kids are catching them in time and holding onto them and whatever, and terrified and whatever, and no one did anything about it. Until a kid couldn't keep himself in and went flying. All we can do is pray for him and his family and hope that the doctors can do something to keep him comfortable and save his life. Exactly as Rosalind said. I did say it earlier in the story, though, and it's important to know. That's why I said it earlier in the story, and I made sure to play clips of the news that were very obviously people talking in circles, because they want to be like, no, we're going to show you this old man and pretend that it's just a bunch of old people who've been working in this for decades that are doing this. Right. But even that old man had to tell you that all the inspection, all of the maintenance, all of the daily making sure the ride's okay, it's done by the operators of the rides. And how old are those people? On average, they're a bunch of teenagers, right? They're a bunch of kids, because that's who works at these places. So it's reliant on a checklist they give to a bunch of children to do a 20-point check. And that's it. Nobody else is checking these. So until something horrifically goes wrong, nothing gets done, right? The lap barbs were lifting. They were lifting constantly days before this boy got thrown, and no one did anything. What do you think, Sal? This is insane.
Listen, I've come to realize that a lot of these rides, when I was younger, I think in my older age, as I get older, as my birthday come up, I realized that I don't want to do these rides no more. Hey, 18, I just figure, hey, I'm going to land over there, I'm going to jump right there, and I'm going to make it. So that's what I do. 32, I just in my head, I ain't going for it. I'm not, no, my legs hurt, my back hurt, I'm not risking nothing. It ain't gonna be no guarantee. I ain't gonna try to manipulate no situation. It's just like, yep, God, time to take me home.
That's the problem, right? Is kids are dumb, right? But they need to be. They need to be that kind of reckless, so they go out and challenge the environment, challenge the world, and build themselves up and make themselves and culture and the world bigger, better, stronger, more advanced. But come on, at what cost? This is why we have adults, right? This is how we have the grown folk. Grown folks are supposed to look at this and say, let's fix it for them. So that way, when they want to go and have a little bit of a thrill, it's not literally a death trap.
That's what I'm saying. Speaking of a person that wants to live their life exactly the way they want to, I'm just gonna let y'all look at the story. I have nothing to say.
Attacking your mind.
But nigga, it's me. I'm him. I'm not them. I'm him Jones. I'm him Duncan. I will beat a nigga ass and stomp him in my Timberlands.
People are paying for this with money. They're paying for this voluntarily, watching this with their own time.
I just want the first 5 seconds of this video for y'all to understand what's going on, because I was speechless when I first heard it. This story is also interesting. We're going to do that on Thursday. We're going to get to that. But man who spent $14K to transform himself into collie steps out for the first ever walk in public. He took a walk. My guy, shout out this guy from Japan who wanted to be a collie. I'm like, hey man, listen, get it how you get it, you know what I'm saying? The dog days are just beginning for this man, a Japanese native who has transformed himself into a canine after forking out more than $14K for a custom-made collie costume. The private citizen, who goes only by Toko online, says the unusual garment has helped actualize the dream of becoming an animal. Ruby thought the animals didn't have the right to do what they do. They understood the game. They understood the faction. You trying to take the ability of being an animal away from them. This is their fight. They're fighting against the forces of people who try. By the way, if you get the joke, you get the joke. Footage shares of Toko's YouTube channel, where he boasts more than 32,000 subscribers, show him clad in a costume as he frolics on a lawn, rolls on a floor, and plays fetch. Oh, we're gonna watch this video. Toko has even uploaded a video of himself venturing out in public as a dog for the very first time. Bystanders appeared in awe of the man's doggy debut as he paraded down the busy street in the viral clip, which has racked up 1.7 million views. Look at this costume that my man Toko in. Look at it. That's Toko, man. That's Toko. Look at Toko. Ain't you happy for Toko? Toko just want to be himself. He just want to be a dog. Toko completed the costume with the harness strapped around his furry abdomen, but admitted he was nervous and scared to venture out in public. Yeah, you're a furry, and I get it. Hey man, you just took your furry addiction to the further limits than most people. Who am I to judge? I'm not God. Do you remember your dream from when you were little? You want to be a hero or a wizard? Want to be a wizard, Harry? He wrote in this clip describing his life dog dream as seemingly unrealistic. I remember writing in my grade school graduation book that I wanted to be a dog and walk outside. As an introduction to his unusual hobby, Toko answered a series of questions in a video posted last year, admitting he always had a vague dream of becoming an animal ever since he was a child. When I fulfilled that dream, this is how it turned out, he wrote in the clip, adding that he chose to become a collie due to the negligible size difference between the breed and the human. This is Toko. This is Toko. Shout out to Toko. Zeppet, the company that manufactured Toko's Collie's costume, said it took 40 days to create the furry fashion item, which cost a cool 2 million yen, aka $14,161. Modeled after a collie dog, it reproduces the appearance of a real dog walking on 4 legs, the company spokesperson told news.com.au. Despite going online fame with the puppy pursuit, Toko conceals his unusual proclivities from most of his friends and family.
Fucking, they're attacking your mind!
I think a like and subscribe and all that stuff gonna come right now. Y'all making me study this so y'all can at least give me a like and subscribe. I really tell my friends because I'm afraid that they will think I am weird. I hope it's still there. My friends and family seem very surprised to learn that I became an animal. Meanwhile, the Japanese man said last year that most of his colleagues are also unaware that he dresses a dog outside of work. I don't want my hobbies to be known, especially by the people I work with, he told the Daily Mail. This is Toko saying he's human. And of course, y'all know what we must do now. We must go watch the video. Everybody, look, it's Toko, the human dog. Look at it, the dogs don't know what that is. He's getting pitted. It's Toko right here. For anybody that don't know, it's Toko. He's rolling the floor. Look at Toko. Oh, look at the poor human male dog thing. Look at it. Oh, it's good to hand. Look at the sweet dog. Look at it. Look at the strange, unique dog. Shout out to Toko. Look, you ain't got used to walking, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got used to walking. Hey, listen, it's my day before my birthday. We gotta have fun, right? We gotta have fun. That's Toko. We gotta have a little fun. It's gonna be a great week. I got some crazy stories Thursday too. This week is top notch. Great discussion coming on later today. Or if you haven't watched it, if you're watching the recorded video, go back and watch the discussion that we have about Clout on our Monday show. So it's in the live. Just hit that tab, subscribe, hit that tab, go to live, watch the discussion. Ruby will have it set up in the chapter so you can just go straight to it, or any other story you like. Spotify, everybody else, hope you like and subscribe, all that, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. Everything will be set up for y'all easily. Shout out to Toko the dog. My whole screen just going white. It just, God is coming back. It's over with. It's my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Look at this. This is, aw.
That was a lot of exposition. Moving on.
I didn't know how to end the video. This a man became a dog. I don't know. A man rolled around on the floor. A grown man was in a dog costume rolling on the floor. I don't know how to end that. I think God was telling me to end the story, so he just made the light go brighter because it just shot up randomly at the end of the video. Like, why are you doing this?
Well, I mean, hey, listen, at least because to me, it was like, how's this really like a news story at the beginning? Because I'm like, furries have existed for a long time, right? But no, furries are comfortable in their little outfits, right? In their little role playing. It's very obvious they are humans in these costumes, right? They're just like in giant man size. Nope, not this guy. This guy wanted to be as small as a border collie, crawling around on his, I assume, knees and elbows or whatever. So he was, listen, if you have nothing better to do with your time, energy, and effort, this is better. This is a lot better than the costume one, right? Because I feel like the costume one allows people to, I don't know, maybe they could be predatory or something. In this case, the border lab collie dude, like he can't hurt anyone but himself. So
he barely move. He's trying to draw.
I got nothing for y'all. I got nothing for y'all except listen, okay? I I told many of y'all, okay, that the next story is near and dear to my heart because this Ebony Excellence is related to myself. You guys will see I won't break anything else, okay? But I will say one thing, right? Is on top of all the reasons I list in the video for why the next person is excellence. Now we have a whole nother reason, right? Is because apparently you will have to be almost crazy and very brave for you to decide to sign up to be a therapist, because everybody out there is trying to be a border collie or listen, I don't know. So, hey, let's all give it up for the next person. Okay. She is here in the chat room and this is her Ebony Excellence. Let's go.
And I might not get to the finish line with you, but I will continue to strive to carve out my own space before passing this baton on to a new generation of runners, confident in victory because success, it runs in my race.
Y'all, today I am super honored to do this Ebony Excellence episode, okay? And it's because we are honoring someone who is near and dear to my heart. That's right, y'all. Today, the Ebony Excellence is honoring Mama Rubes. Okay, now I'm going to explain to y'all why this is particularly Ebony Excellence. Okay, I want you to think about a young girl, okay, barely about to be 18 years old, who makes a little boo-boo. I'm the boo-boo. Okay, but she was like valedictorian of her high school. She was a brilliant young lady. Okay, you know, just having a kid wasn't going to just stop her. She was going to school. She was working. She was trying to raise me. She was trying to make a young, new, somewhat shotgunny marriage work. Fine. But the point is, right, is she was trying to do it all at such an incredibly young age. She did go to get her post-secondary education, was only a few credits shy from graduating. Okay, we're going to pause on the school thing. Just pause on that. Okay. And then we saw her do a lot of other things. Okay. We saw her nearly bankrupt, and having to cut up her credit cards, and we snowed those around the Square One area. And you know what? Like literally in like 5 years, she had rehabbed her own finances. Okay. To the point where she could afford to purchase a house. And she purchased this house before they broke ground that is now worth nearly $1 million. Okay. The amazing investment, right? Now, on top of this, okay, she also was able to rise up the ranks. Now, it depends on how you feel about religion, I understand. But listen, when I say that this is a devoted woman of God, she's a devoted woman of God, okay, who was a minister and now a pastor who started many different things, including the women's retreats. I talked to y'all about that. Also, she started an organization when I was just a kid, right, called Standing in the Gap. And we used to do things like we'd go volunteer, for example, at old folks' homes. She has always had a heart for volunteering. So despite the fact that she was young, she was a single mom. I mean, you know, my other parent was also a single parent, but, you know, they were sharing me 50-50. And that's another amazing thing to think about, the sacrifices that these really young people were making, where they literally moved so that way they were walking distance my entire life growing up, and they moved to like this really incredibly expensive area that they couldn't afford, and they would do stuff like tell me they had a big lunch because they couldn't afford to feed both of us and let me eat, right? That's what my mom did. So just even in and of itself, like that to me, what a hero. Right? What a hero. And I had no idea. I had no idea of so many of these things growing up. None whatsoever. For her to have been literally younger than I am right now. Okay. She was a minister in the church. Okay. She had already at that point, she had been a Federal Express operations manager. Like this is like the biggest position that anyone her age younger had ever gotten. Crazy. Amazing. That she had also been a pastor of a church. Okay. She owned one property that was steadily climbing in how much it was valued at. What an amazing, successful buy. She had rehabbed her finances, as I explained. You know, she had been a few credits shy of graduating. She had been an excellent mom, an excellent sister, an excellent daughter. Amazing. Plus, she was volunteering her time and her energy, like in every way possible. She did the volunteer for the suicide like helpline, or like the helplines when you have like a crisis line. She would volunteer for that, and I would see her do that, and I would like lie awake with her because I was always kind of a night owl. So that way, if the phone rang, we were both like right there, and I could wake her up if she didn't wake up, and then she'd go running into her room to go. And she's always done this like my entire life. So it was absolutely no surprise to me whatsoever when after I started at McMaster University in the psychology, neuroscience, and behavior program that eventually she expressed some interest in pursuing psychology as well. And she still had to work full time. I mean, she had, several properties by now, and a life and, a husband and whatever that she needed to continue to support. It's not like she could just be like, don't care. Nope. And so she just diligently, first she had to get them to convert her almost nursing degree into like an undergrad degree that would qualify her to get into her program of choice, which was a Master's of Divinity in Counseling. And then, which was amazing, I'm telling you, I personally had the joy of helping her and editing her first essay and teaching her that, hey, now you write like you're preaching to a bunch of Jamaicans who are over the age of 60, and that's not going to work in scholarly education, right? And so she had to struggle to get her mind all the way back to that, and it's not like she was over the age of 40 at this point, and she had to struggle and become again. And then she's doing this like only a couple classes at a time. And despite so much stress, so much tragedy, so much illness that struck not just her own child, her own parents and herself, that she battled and won against cancer, in this same journey since she started her education. But it is with great joy and honor that I say that I was able to stand there at her graduation just last weekend, May 13th of 2023, and watch her walk across that stage looking as young and fresh as ever because she had finally received that master's, and she is now officially a qualifying psychotherapist.
Marjorie Angelica Rose. Shelley Sawden.
Y'all, to see, yes, I'm proud of her because she's my mom. But when I say that she really, truly overcame obstacles, imagine purchasing a house with a fiance and your job, literally Federal Express operations manager, like crazy. And in a very short period of time, all of your circumstances changing. Now you have this house and this mortgage. It's all on your own shoulders. And you're delivering newspapers in a broke down car. Let's be real. Just to not lose the house. That's what she did. I've never seen somebody, right? I mean, to have the kind of spirit with that you could literally be like, I don't have $3 to put gas in my car. And 5 years later, you've rehabbed your finances to the point where you purchased a house. Every step along the way, though, she's had a giving heart and a giving soul. And to me, there's nothing more excellent than that. I've seen her help so many, she's always wanted to see the next single mother or the next young man who just needs a break. She's always gone so far out of her way to help those people and give them a hand up. The each one teach one, lifting as we rise. She's always done that. And so to me, she exudes ebony excellence, not just because of what she has earned, not just because of these worldwide retreats that she has hosted and the countless women she has helped along the way, not just because of any one thing, but because she was able to achieve so many excellent things despite so many hardships and obstacles in her life, and despite all of that, she was able to still continue having such a giving heart and a giving soul. So that way, her example and her reach so far beyond her own individual life and the thousands more she's going to help now as a therapist. So guys, let's give it up for Marjorie Angelica Rose, today's Ebony Excellence. I am so proud of you, Mommy.
God would have me to understand that sometimes as women, we get lost in the world, in our lives, in the corporate world, in the spiritual world, at church. Yes. And the cry of his heart is for us to get back to a place where he wants us to be.
And I might not get to the finish line with you, but I will continue to strive to carve out my own space before passing this baton on to a new generation of runners, confident in victory because success, it runs in my race.
Yo, I'll tell you something. I didn't really lose a lot. When I'm saying lose, I mean like, to illness and death my whole life. And in a very short period of time, we lost my grandmother, right? Mama Rubes' mom, to cancer in 2019. And then the pandemic started. And then Mama Rubes was diagnosed with cancer. And this is at the time where you're not even allowed to go places and see people, or they will fine you $10,000. Like, it was not like, this is the beginning of the pandemic. And then I lost my grandmother on the other side, right after Mama Ruth had her surgery for a cancer that has like a 60% survival rate. So it's like, at that time, it's funny because we just had this whole surprise party for her, like just on the weekend. She didn't see it coming at all. It's been a lot of work in the making. Me and Wilhelmina, we made it happen. We had her face on all these t-shirts. There's all these people here. It was great. She didn't see it coming at all. She was just like deadpan shocked for like 5 minutes. And it's funny, I played this video and I was fine then. I think it's just sitting back and watching and just realizing how much loss and kind of like loneliness that there was at that time just for me, and thinking about it from her perspective, to be the one who just lost your mom, and now you're going through this illness. No one's allowed to be in the hospital with you, blah, blah, blah. And you're fighting this thing, and you just lost your mom to this type of cancer. And, it's like for her to have bounced back through all the grief, through all everything, and still push through this really, really long road to make it out the other side. And for her to now be qualifying psychotherapist and to actually be practicing and getting to hear that she's already helping people in this way that she's been destined to help people for so long. I'm just so proud of her. And I'm just so happy. So, sorry, I got emotional. Go ahead, Sal.
Oftentimes you hear stories of Black women, what they go through and things you have to go through, and then you don't really think about it. And then once it hits you, you kind of just recognize she went through a lot, and she was resilient, as just Jay said. And you be like, she did all of that for me. She did all that for other people. She did it. You see it all over the place. When we had a discussion a few weeks ago, I'm not going to spend like that, but when I was talking about, is the Black culture, is it degenerate? But you see so many amazing people, so many people with stories of how everything was wrong in their life and how situations would set them back and how society itself would just set them back. And you see them persevere. And it's always amazing to see that. It's just always amazing. So shout out to Miss Marjorie. She's doing an amazing thing. The retreat looks amazing. All that. So I do appreciate you for that. And I want to thank you too. But you made my co-host, so let's go.
I mean, the best thing she did. I'm the accident at the beginning, but I mean, come on. I'm clearly also the success story. Just look at me. I'm kidding.
So I do this. Like I said, this is the best story we done did. So I do shout out to that. That's an amazing story. But we got one more. It's not as heartwarming. It's kind of sad, but we got to get through it. And then we're gonna do a Karen, and then we're gonna go into our discussion about Clout. But that's hard to follow, so I'm not going to try. So let's get through it. All right. I didn't choose this life. I'm lying. Yes, I did. I'm here to report the news. Like and subscribe. It's Zell May. And a Maryland man faces hate crime charges in Annapolis, 3 and injured 3 others. This is about an Annapolis man accused of shooting 3 people and injured 3 others in June was indicted on Friday on 42 counts, including murder and hate crime charge. Charles Robert, 43, is accused of shooting and 27-year-old Mario Antonio Ruiz, 55-year-old Nicholas Morales, and 25-year-old Christian Martin. We lost some young dudes, bruh. After an argument between Smith's mother and Mario Antonio Morales over parking on June 11th. Over parking? You lost your life over parking? You gotta be a racist. I didn't know what. Are you that stupid? Are you that dumb? Are you that ignorant? Because he argued with your mother. Sir, you are 43 years old. I get it. Mother, all that stuff. See, this is not just a black issue. This is in general. This 43-year-old man, 3 people, over an argument over mother over parking. Washington, D.C. reported on Monday that Smith was indicted and Arnold. According to documents, Smith is accused of confronting victims outside of Annapolis' home as they approached his mother, Shirley Smith, to speak about a parking issue she called to complain about when a vehicle was blocking their driveway. Smith got involved when an argument erupted between his mother and Morales Ruiz just before 8 p.m. This is him right here. Yo, that haircut tell me all I need to know. Look at this. That haircut says everything I need to know. This dude is not normal. By the way, arguing over parking is a thing to me too. The encounter turned physical when Smith allegedly put out and shot in Segovia. Smith is then accused of shooting a rifle at those who rushed to the aid of Morales Ruiz in Segovia. And in doing so, Smith shot Mario's father and wounded 3 others. The suspect surrendered to police without incident after incident and allegedly claimed he opened fire because the gunshot was fired at his house. Witness on the told investigators did not see any of the victim with guns. Investigator reported recovered a semi-automatic handgun and a long gun from the crime scene. Fox 5 reported that Smith's attorney said he is a former member of the military and was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. Again, accountability culture. What does that matter?
It's fucking they're attacking your mind!
I'm sorry, 3 people lost their life. The return indictment includes 3 counts, each of first degree in race and religious crime resulting in death. It also includes 6 counts of attempted first and second degree. The Smith indictment include 9 counts using a form of violence as well. If convicted, Smith can be sentenced to life in prison. Let's see what the news got to say about this.
During a court hearing today, the lawyer of the accused shooter says he's an Army veteran who suffers from PTSD, but the families of the victims say it is more than that. Scott Broom is in Annapolis with what else we learned about the case in court.
Accused mass shooter, 43-year-old Charles Robert Smith, will stay locked up without bail for now.
The reason I want to watch this, I know I didn't explain in the video, and I do apologize, but I want to understand because I don't know how it's a hate crime. I want to know how this is a hate crime. Again, unless he says some words. So that's why we're watching this. I want to see how it's a hate crime because it's supposed to be over a parking dispute. I don't know how that would equal a hate crime, so I'm very curious to how this is going to work out. But let's listen to the news and see what they got to say.
Now, after his attorney unsuccessfully argued he should be released because he needs treatment for PTSD.
I don't believe that either. I don't really care about that. You murdered a bunch of people. I don't care about your PTSD. Accountability still has to happen. Like I said about that young lady and stuff like that before, in many of the cases, accountability still has to be had. We all could just get off because we crazy. A lot of people be getting off. The Joker, that's how you create Gotham.
Smith suffered while serving in the Army in Afghanistan between 2008 and 2013. The sister of shooting victim, Christian Segovia, spoke moments after the hearing.
We will not stop until this is, reported as a hate crime. What happened here is not, an act of PTSD. This is a murder.
Segovia was a 25-year-old father, one of 6 people gunned down during an apparent dispute between neighbors over.
Again, we just read the story. Again, I don't know how you just randomly shoot 6 people after an argument and say you saw gunfire at my house. That's why I shot back. Sir, you was in an argument. You know there was no gunfire. Come on now, chill. I'm just saying.
Over parking on Paddington Place in the Bay Ridge section of Annapolis.
They don't know how it's a hate crime. We're still trying to figure out how the hate crime part came in.
Sunday evening, 3 people died, father and son, 55-year-old Nicholas Morales and 27-year-old Mario Morales Ruiz.
like I said, it could 100% be because he said some racial thing, but we trying to figure that out.
Along with Segovia. Kathleen Kirshner is an attorney and family friend speaking for the grieving Morales family.
This was an unprovoked attack.
She talked about
I agree with
Mario, who was a father of 2 expecting a third.
And he was a really kind and nice guy. I mean, I'm totally shocked that this happened to him.
The mass shooting happened in 2 phases, police said. First, Smith is accused of using a semi-auto pistol to kill Mario Morales Ruiz and Christian Segovia during a confrontation in front of Smith's house over a party guest who had parked at Smith's curb. Police say Smith then retreated into the house and began firing from inside with a rifle.
Again, I keep telling y'all, these crazy white men is getting like they all like 50 and older, 40 and older now, and they just shooting out there. They just going and just shooting people. I'm just saying, they're getting like real paranoid. It's getting real scary out here. He's unprovoked, should go to jail because he shouldn't be shooting people. I don't care about no PTSD. Maybe the second part was PTSD. The second part maybe, but the first 2 were just because he was upset. Let's not pretend. Them 2 dudes he shot first was because he was mad. We might find out why it's a hate crime. Still ain't seen the hate crime part, but yeah.
Killing father Nicholas Morales and wounding 3 others who were reacting to the first shooting. Police have not said if it was an assault rifle.
I do not know what it was. I do know that they begged him to stop shooting.
Cannot keep going on. We can't keep losing fathers. We can't keep losing brothers. We can't keep losing, our loved ones like this, not a week before Father's Day.
For the moment, Smith is facing murder,
It's about a month
attempted murder charges, but Annapolis police have not ruled out the possibility of hate crime charges.
Oh, so it's not a hate crime charge. They not ruled it out yet. They got to see any history. Okay, that's fair.
After witnesses complain that Smith has a long history of anger towards his Latino neighbors.
Oh, that's what we get to it. That's what we get to it. We finally found the hate crime part. So I've been looking for. He might have a history of just wanting to shoot Hispanic people. I'm just saying, brown people don't look like us. Listen, they look like they was in a nice neighborhood. They said he's an Army veteran, so I'm pretty sure he got a little something. It looked like it was a nice neighborhood. He didn't like the fact they were living might be had a little party guest. Might have started the argument with his mother. He might be a little racist, so they start arguing and stuff. It gets out of hand. He starts shooting because he got anger issue. Then he might. I doubt it. He might have PTSD once he shot them. I saw people running and just start panicking to start shooting the rifle. Still, accountability culture. You gotta go to jail because we can't just have people claiming they got PTSD and then that way old military white men can go around there just murdering any person they ever went to war with. You see Arabian people, you see black people, you see Asian people, and you just go from a war and start shooting them. We can't have that as an excuse. We can't have that as an excuse, so we're not falling for that. But I think we kind of figure out where the hate crime might be coming from. We'll see. Hopefully we'll see what happens. Again, PTSD is not a claim. Again, we have not indication of a hate crime, but it might still be. So like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. If y'all want updates on this, let me know in the comments. We'll figure it out. Love y'all. Peace. Yeah, listen. PTSD is no reason. You can't just go shooting people because you're like, oh, I had trauma from the military. No, that's not how this works. Go to jail, be gone.
Actually, it can definitely work that way. And that is the difference between having a military type of post-traumatic stress disorder, and probably why it is that they first diagnosed this in military veterans versus in other people, even though obviously any type of trauma could cause PTSD. But you have to remember that veterans are you can be as traumatized and whatever as you want. In that moment, you are in an enemy war zone, right? There's a way that you react, and it's not the way that you'd react in polite company or in America, right? The way that you'd react in a war zone, if you're traumatized and, oh, you think that person's here to get you too, you're going to shoot first and ask questions later. Oh, well, because that is how they train you. Right? Because if you don't shoot, then you know what? Maybe it's going to take down yet another one of your comrades or colleagues and whatever. So when you have post-traumatic stress disorder, one of the things that can happen is you can have flashbacks. Okay? I know because I had PTSD and I had flashbacks. Flashbacks? You are literally living somewhere else. What is happening here in reality is not the same thing as what you are seeing in reality. What is happening, you are reliving your trauma. Now, if you're reliving your trauma and you've got a gun and your trauma includes a gun and people coming for you, what are you going to do but shoot those people? Because what are you going to do? Sit down and let the people get you? That's not what you were trained to do in the military, right? This is why, yeah, as much as I get what Judge Jay is saying, because a lot of us have post-traumatic stress disorder, but for various different ways and very different reasons. But in this case, yeah, just allowing people who have this type of trauma, who also have this type of thing, like the flashbacks and stuff, to just have guns in their houses, to be able to just to walk around armed and stuff is stupid. It is stupid because as it is, people with PTSD will choke out their wives and loved ones and stuff like that because they're living in a different reality. They would never really hurt their wife. But in that moment, they don't think that's their wife. They think that's an enemy combatant and they're replaying something else. You know what I mean? So it's sad, but like I can't say that I think that's an unreasonable thing. I think America and Americans are too scared of losing their guns. And so they don't want to see what's right in front of them, which is that unless there's a crackdown and unless there's more understanding and a balance between all of this, come on, how many mass shootings and other types of, tragedies, gun-related tragedies do we need before, like, y'all want to have a resolution?
And that's why I did say in the video from Military Family, when he shot him and then he saw people running out, he probably 100%, I believe that probably it did kick in there. I don't know, I didn't see the video on the initial part where you just arguing, so I don't know about that part. But that second part, that's why I said even in the video that hey, it might trigger. He saw people running and he just shot somebody. Okay, it's time to go to war. So I do
a loud bang, or you could be looking at a ceiling fan. It could remind you of the blades of a helicopter. Like there's a million things that could trigger, right? And as someone who, again, I didn't go to a war or something, and I could tell you that for many, many years, there's a lot of things that could trigger me. Being on a dark road at all, being in a car on a dark road, sitting in the back seat of a car, even if it wasn't a dark road. There's a lot of things that could trigger me, right? So, and that wasn't, again, war. So yeah, I is it like, here's the problem. On one side, well, does that mean, oh, well, it's okay, you kill people? No. But like, if he's not lying, should he go to prison? If he's not lying, I don't think he should go to prison. I think he should go get well, right? Like, I think he should go to a mental hospital, but like a prison?
That's why I did want to know why they were saying hate crime. I did want to, because they was like, I'm like, most of this might just be a man from the military just go full PTSD. But then they were like, he been having problem with Hispanics in the neighborhood. I'm like, okay, maybe like I said, we have to update you. We have to figure it out. Again, I don't know what the routine is. I don't know what the situation we got to do with, but somehow you can't just let people with PTSD have guns and go to war in random neighborhoods with random combat. Like I said, if you went to Korean War, some old Korean War, any other war, they see an Arabian person, they just click off. You just can't have that though. So something has to be done.
Oh, and for the record, Just Jay, yeah, I actually think that way more professions should require some type of psych evaluation, just like to go into all different kinds of medical types of schools. You have this LSATs, you have the MCATs, you have all these different admittance things, right? To get into the police, to get into the FBI, to get into a lot of these different things where you have, guns and power over people. They do psych evals already. I think that anything where you actually have that much control and power over other people's lives, whether they live or die, I don't think it's unreasonable at all to suggest that, yeah, no, they should be evaluated for anything from sociopathy to just a propensity to lose their stuff under stress and then do something terrible. Or, hey, maybe become those angels who take people out because they're helping, right? I mean, I don't know. I do feel like, yeah, no. At some point, we have to infringe on other people's rights for the greater good of all to some extent. But again, that's you signing up. You don't have to sign up for that kind of job. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's what I think.
Just get in a fairy doll costume and roll around. You'll be happy.
There you go. But okay. So listen, y'all. I've got a couple of Karens situations for y'all, okay? Each one is a little bit short, but entertaining. And the reason why I did this is because, well, effort is not great on my birthday week, but laughing is. And we all know how much I enjoy thoroughly laughing at Karens. So let's take a look at Karen number one. And the title of this is Karen Almost Gets Ran Over. Let's take a look.
But I don't understand how you think that we're almost losing America and there's a battle for America.
Look at this lady over here recording me and shit. I'm driving. Look at this. This is crazy. I met my first Karen.
She pays taxes.
I'm thinking if I should run her over, bro.
That's unlike everyone else on the planet.
Yo, lady, listen. I'm trying to tell you something. I put a package there. I couldn't reverse. I didn't know that. Put a sign right there that says, "Yo, no one should come into here." But I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, like chill out. Put the sign.
I'm driving.
But no. Okay, before she continues losing it, what does she think is going to be repaired by what she's doing? The guy said, I wouldn't have driven in here if I thought there was an issue with doing it. So now I'm going to leave. He didn't say no. He said, I'm going. But I guess because he can't, teleport his van from A to B, she starts banging on his van. And because he still didn't teleport, now she's going to rip his car apart. I don't feel like this is the best way to accomplish the goal she wants. Because if she wants him to be gone, vandalizing his vehicle and trying to break it is probably not the best way to make him leave. Okay, let's keep going, Karen.
I'm driving.
Why is she screaming? Now she's trying to break
lady.
What?
I'm driving.
Dude.
I'm driving.
You trying to drive?
I'm driving, lady.
Dude, why is she screaming?
What the fuck?
Like what?
What the?
Okay, so
look at this lady over here recording me and shit.
I mean, why? Like what? Like the tantrums. Hey, listen, Just Jay, my mom was always here. In fact, she's followed me to places she knows she shouldn't have gone. I didn't invite her to. I didn't tell her about the places. And then she finds out about all kinds of terminology and discussions and things about my life she would rather not know. And you know what I say to that? I say, no one told you to come here. Okay? However, everyone knows with the Karens, I cannot control the language. I control my language. I cannot control their language. Speaking of which, I can't control the language in this video either. I can't. Personally, I can't. Now you say Trump supporter, and I will not shut up. Let's see how this one goes. Because a mega Karen is always a great Karen.
I refuse to. I'm an infidel. I am a 3%er and I'm a 1%er. That equals 4.
Bro, I know what she's going to say. So I'm going to let y'all hear it again. But she's saying, I'm a 1%er and a 3%er. That makes me a 4%er. I don't think she understands what the terminology means, right? Because like 1%er is the best. Making that number bigger doesn't make you better. It makes you less, right? Because there's more people at 4% than there are at the 1%. Okay. Mega Karen. Just ask them why they hate wokeism or to define it, like we have in a couple videos. Going.
I refuse to. I'm an infidel. I am a 3%er and I'm a 1%er. That equals 4%. And I don't like the state of America right now.
And
this is my America and I'm taking it back. We're gonna have Trump in office. Trump's coming back.
Doesn't it, like, okay, honestly, Shar, you know, everyone who's watching, didn't this kind of low-key reminds you of RBR though, like 2 + 2 = 4. And he always says, right, that the racists can't count. Well, apparently, either Mega Karen here is not racist, or she is proving RBR wrong, because she added up 1 + 3 = 4 amazingly. I mean, she didn't understand what she was talking about, but she added correctly. Okay.
Don't touch me, Arthur. You're pissing me off. You won't let me buy my stuff. You're right. I won't let you buy your stuff.
Liquid.
What kind of America is
Look at
this?
it.
Yes, put it on Facebook. They're arresting me for trying to pay for something for my dog. Yeah, I didn't go on Facebook and I put it there. I need my health angel.
She had the nerve to say they're arresting her for trying to pay for something for her daughter. Like she just forgot everything else she was saying and doing. What I think is amazing though, is that like the cops were like, yeah, I don't even feel like making that kind of effort. And we're pretty sure she's too lazy to make the effort. So if we just handcuff her and just wheel her, she'll just roll. It'll be easier than trying to get her out of this. That was epic. Okay. So in our final showing, because, you know, 2 birthdays and then 1 to grow on, we have this Karen, who seems to misunderstand how to water your own grass on your own side of the fence, or what you do when your neighbors are having a party. In my case, one of my neighbors just came to the party. I'm just saying, or just mind your own business over there. But that's not what Karen does. Let's check it out.
I thought you was joking, like doing them as a joke.
Yeah, that's water, guys. Yeah. Did you hear what she said? There's not even grass there. So whatever lame excuse she gave, right, about I'm watering the grass, like there's no grass anywhere near this part of the fence on her side. So it's very obvious she's intentionally spraying into the neighbor's barbecue on purpose.
These are our plants. We can worry about them. No, because your shit comes over.
You know, your shit came over our stuff. Just don't spray us.
We have babies over here.
Bro, it's all cement. It's all cement. There's no flowers. There's no grass. There is no way she could pretend this is like not on purpose. Oh my God. And then she sprays again.
You're a jackass.
What is she doing? For what? For what purpose? For what purpose, Karen? Yo, and she feels righteous. She feels mad righteous right now. What are you doing?
Wait, you forgot.
What's the problem? Stop. We have a child over here. We do this every night. You can wait until we're done.
Wait, clappers. There's clappers everywhere.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Did y'all hear that? So she finally admitted what her real beef was. Every night you're gonna do this? Right? So now she's trying to make it an untenable situation, an uncomfortable situation, so that way they stop willingly choosing to meet in their own backyard that they pay for to have a barbecue amongst friends. That would be problematic because we decided we're going to eat almost exclusively barbecue all summer. So if Karen was living next to me, we would have an issue. However, all of her other lies are bull, right? You sometimes when you spray over here, it gets over here too. No, girl, you standing there and aiming for as far over there as you can. To intentionally hit children, because you know who you're aiming at. So you can see if you're aiming at the baby, at the children. Girl, all because what? Because you're mad, like you don't like the smell of barbecue, because you're a vegan, like you don't like the noise. It looks like she's got earphone. I don't know. Oh, yeah. What a jerk.
Hey,
look at that.
How rude
Look at
can
that.
a person be? She's rude. Your mother must not be home.
Michael, take her home.
You feel that?
Like, just imagine that. Look how wet he is. Karen is flagrant, okay? Karen lives her life in flagrancy. I don't know why, I don't know how, but I know that Karen is the most ignorant being on the face of the planet. She just is. What do you think, Zell? See, Rosalind, that is a good point. Now, I would have said that if this Karen remotely seemed like a normal person, that maybe she was just jelly she didn't get invited. But I have a feeling that that would not help in this case. I don't know. What do you think, Zell? Oh, we can't hear you, honey.
The Karen epidemic is upon us, and now she's trying to claim she's watering our grass, and then said, "Oh, I'm watering my grass," and then I'm really confused because she's shooting it at the barbecue grill, which is nowhere near your house. See, she can't do that in the hood. I'm just telling you how to do it. But it has
she would never move to the hood.
Yeah, 100%. She get keishas. She need a trailer park. I'm gonna find a good trailer park girl. Put them hands on. They don't care about going to jail.
That is true.
They don't care about going. They like that. They like
that is true.
They like to fight. So.
Sad but true.
JJ said they are insane. I have enough issues. I'm not participating in their madness.
I know. I feel that. I really do. Like at this day and age, and we're gonna start taking a look at some, like I said, situations that are not like just the Karen, because there's a lot of fallout now to these situations. That's why we're not hearing about so many Karens, because they're starting to get consequences for their actions that they didn't see. And some of those consequences are bad. So start looking at them. We have to.
Yeah, I think I saw one the other day. So we're gonna be very interested on what happens with that, Karen. So I'm very interested to see what's gonna happen with that. But we're at the discussion part of the show. Hope everybody enjoyed the show. Hope y'all enjoyed all the things. Shout out to Miss Marjorie one more time, Mama Rubes. But we do have the video. We have to go through it. Not this one. I won't browse with it. We do have this video. Let me get to it. And it's actually interesting because it's, of course, of a guy whom y'all know. His name's Sneeko. So shout out to Sneeko. So he has a video out from young Sneeko, from when he was an innocent young lad with actual thought processes. And of course, we will also send you the StreamYard link, which I will do right now in the chat. So there you go. So anybody want to join, we'll watch a little bit of this video and see what Sneeko is saying about fame, which is very interesting to me. So let's see.
Oh, hey, didn't see it there. Fame is kind of like... You want to be famous. No, I know you tell people, I'm anti-social. People are fake. But you just sent me the link to your new song and said, rush that, gang. You just added model to your bio, and we know you're not. Let's be honest here. It's not for spreading awareness. You're posting TikToks one time to go viral with it. But you can't admit that because we both know that being clout hungry is pathetic. Talk.
That part always interested me when he said that. Because it's like being clout hungry, doing whatever it takes. So this video very much interests me, Ruben. This video, because I'm like, is he predicting his future self as like some sort of insecurity?
He's predicting his, at that time, self. Because we all know that he fell out with Mr. Beast at or around or before that time, right?
Oh, yeah.
So he's always been like this.
And Keemstar. And apparently, maybe Andrew Tate. So everybody that gives him the big break to do something, he kind of turns on. So this is a very introspective video because I think he actually admits that he's this person. So I wanted to see.
Created this weird trend where people in their 30s will publicly tweet their relationship, but covering his face because of privacy. Who is it?
You're 30. You're not famous. Start a family.
I can't meet one more unbothered girl who's clearly bothered. Only people who care a lot have to show and tell how much they don't care. But don't blame Gen Z for this corniness, because people have always craved validation from strangers. We all do it so no one calls it out, but pay attention, and people desperately seek your approval in every conversation. All right, so boom, so I was with this girl, right? And we had sex. Like I had sex with her and shit. Yeah.
I don't know how many dudes ever had that happen, and I promise you a dude would just tell you that, especially when you get older, and you say that, and then you don't care. You like, like it's so interesting. Like this, so like this video actually because it like predicts he's actually being introspective of himself, and then it gets worse after he like make this video. So it's like,
is that the whole story? Yeah. Pretty much any statement someone makes in a conversation that isn't to make you laugh or cry is them compensating. No, I'm a Sag, so that's why I'm moody. You're boring and want to be unique. Yeah, I got the booster shot. You want to sound smart. It's giving? I just don't like you. But I've been lying to myself about clout chasing since the Obama years. In my opinion, nothing should come out of your mouth except for facts, jokes, and my dick.
I mean, come on.
And still, I hear myself talking and internally cringe because I say so much bullshit trying to sound cool.
Yeah.
That part got me, Ruben. When I saw it, I say so much trying to sound cool. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
Yeah, that was it.
That's a case of being ignored in middle school, so you start plotting your revenge main character arc in high school. I'm not weird. I'm not weird. I'm not a nerd. They just don't understand me. Like if Hitler's paintings were rejected today, it wouldn't have fueled the incel rage for world dominance. He would have just started a podcast. Every clout chase
Yes.
was just once a forgotten nerd. Yes. If you're seeking validation, there will never be enough of it. Nobody actually cares about you. They're all busy having their own main character arc. You'll just be trying to maintain that high of first blowing up forever and ever and ever and ever. And wow, that was really great when I blew up. So if you click off now, just know that the amount of views, it doesn't matter at all. Unless you're making money off it, which pretty much everyone is. In that case, it creates this weird economy where attention is literally currency, which is how you eat. Just the idea of fame is one of the most independent and sustainable careers of this generation. So, all right, so if everyone wants to be famous now, not only for ego, but because it's one of the best ways to be profitable and independent in a first world where working is cringe. Really, besides NFTs and credit card fraud, monetizing your sheep fans is one of the best ways to make money. Quick.
I mean, you do make a Discord where you tell them to pay $50 and monetizing your sheep fans to give you $50 a month. Sound about right.
Nobody wants to be a doctor anymore. We want to start an eco-friendly, motivational, graphic t-shirt, e-commerce, streetwear brand. Maybe I'm wrong and people don't want to be famous as much as I did since the cool kids bully, but even you, who doesn't let their self-worth lie in the heads of strangers, would sacrifice some privacy if it meant success in your passion. You would though, you would. How can anyone ignore how directly transferable fame is to success in any industry today? Dr. Miami has the BBL business a booming from his milli on the gram. Salt Bay's making $2K a steak to sprinkle some salt. But pursuing fame for validation instead of money is accepting that it will ruin you. Nothing is ever the same after being seen by the public eye. Trust me. Fame is best suited for the people that don't give a fuck. We're always gonna give a fuck. We're gonna judge, we're gonna hate, admire you, stalk you, but we don't actually want you to respond. Because nothing is really genuine after adjusting for the public's likability. And not everybody's capable of not giving a fuck. Most of us are insecure, annoying, and boring. Me and you, we don't need to be known. We need more plumbers in this bitch, bro. What? There's no plumbers anymore? You can't plumb something?
Like I said, this is one of the videos I wanted to show on his perspective. And another one I'll do also want to show is a TikTok. So I will show it. Then we'll get into the discussion. The StreamYard link will be in the chat again. I'll put it one more time. And this is about Candace Owens. And this is just to show something that I think is very unique because she goes on places to talk about things. She has no clue what she's talking about. Just because she knows it gets an audience. She's on Joe Rogan. She want to say these things. I'm going to show y'all a little debate technique she does that you are actually taught to do. In this video, she does like a rapid fire answer thing, so she doesn't have to like quantify it, but she gets caught. I'm gonna show you where it's at.
But I don't understand how you think that we're almost losing America, and there's a battle for America. Like,
I really feel that, like just in every regard, in terms of just the people that were running, like Hillary Clinton. Like, this woman was a globalist. Like, just think about who we were in bed with, like Saudi Arabia, selling all of our uranium to Russia. Like Trump.
Now she apparently likes Russia, or Trump likes Russia, so I guess they do that again. But what she finna do is she finna do a rapid fire of just random things that she can't be held accountable for what she said. This is like a debate tactic when you don't know something. Just get all my points off so you only can attack one. And actually Joe Rogan, which is interesting, actually catches her in one of these.
Trump came in and was like, no, like America, we were the gap, like we're losing the middle class. The gap between the rich and the poor was like literally.
And what do you think is causing that?
Policies, shipping all of our jobs overseas, the regulation, the government getting bigger and bigger. You can't do anything as an entrepreneur in America without a piece of paper from the government, discouraging people.
Didn't get pushed on that at all. Didn't get without a piece of paper from the government. Where did that happen? Again, didn't get pushed on it, but if I'm rapidly firing, I don't have to answer.
Piece of paper, like shutting down the factories, forgetting that there's something, there's a little land between New York and LA, believe it or not, and this is what Trump understood. We were losing that, and Trump appealed to those people. I'm still floored. Like, as I'm traveling the world and seeing different pieces of the country, I'm learning how ignorant I was. And that's the best thing in the entire world.
Way?
Just, I fell victim to the idea that it was progress. We have to care about the environment. It was progress. And it's like, no, we've been losing. America has been losing. And Donald Trump understood that in a way that I didn't. And
I don't think we have to care about the environment?
No, not even a little bit.
This is what she got. This is what she got. She's like, not even a little bit. And watch how he actually catches her, because she paused on a second. Instead of just rapid fire, just nonsense. He actually catches her in this statement. Watch this. Where she said, not even a little bit, Ruben.
Not even a little bit?
No. Okay, let me clarify this. I don't throw trash on the ground. I'm not saying we need to trash the environment. But do I believe in climate change? No.
You don't believe in climate change?
Well, I think the climate always changes, I guess is what I should say. Do I believe that this is an issue that is being that is global warming, which they've changed conveniently? They got rid of the word once scientists started disproving it. Now they only say climate change. No, I think that was just a way to extract dollars from Americans. I don't at all believe they had no actionable plan. It was great for Trump to get out of that deal. It was terrible.
Okay, but this is an incredibly complicated subject,
right?
And if you would have to talk to a bunch of different scientists, right, and see how they gather data and see what they understand about CO2 levels and what's the danger of them, right, and what can combat it and what could not. Have you done all this, or
no,
do you
so
take this flippant opinion based
listen,
on the party line?
This wouldn't be the hill I died on, right? But it's not about the party. I just genuinely, I've read a ton about it, but I would not be able to come to you and say this is my strong opinion. But here's the easiest way to say this, right?
Okay.
The fact that there is a disparity in the science community about whether or not it's real is enough to.
It's very little,
yep,
very little disparity.
But,
most scientists, the vast majority, agree that human beings are negatively affecting climate change.
Yeah.
The vast majority. But
y'all know she just agrees after he confronts her on this topic. Would she be like, okay, I don't know nothing about this? They'd be like CO2 levels and all this. She okay, it's important.
But all you have to do is go backwards. See, this is the problem, and I don't understand why people do this. And I don't know why, I guess I don't understand why they let people like Candace get away with this, because it's not hard to just go backwards in time, especially in the case of Candace Owens, because while she might have erased all of her old content, certainly people like Tree of Logic or Wisdom or Life, I don't even know. I think she's changed it multiple times. I think now she's just called Just Tree. But a lot of people on the left kept tracking her, right? So therefore, we know what she used to think. So that means if you know what she used to think, then you know what research she's familiar with. Just like we know that she works for syndicates, in this case, the Daily Wire, that are very well aware of exactly what Trump did after he was elected, which is while he was sitting there and preaching whatever they wanted him to preach about American for Americans and, oh, we'll just hire Americans. Who did Trump hire? Because it wasn't Americans. You're all aware that he imported a whole bunch of much cheaper labor, no matter what he was campaigning on and no matter what he was continuing to say. They're all aware of that, right? But she has no problem just lying. She has no problem just openly, Trump understood this. What? No, he understood that you guys care. He understood that the voters care, will vote for him again if he pretends he cares, while he just does whatever he wants, because what he cares about is Trump. Like, I don't understand these people. Like, I don't understand them, because not one of them, not Tucker Carlson, not Candace Owens, not Ben, none of them actually like or respect Trump in any way. Like, it's wild. Like, the right is so corrupt. Like, I'm not saying the left's not corrupt, but like the right is really corrupt, man. That's wild.
They like, and the thing is, when they bring up, she'll bring up the point like, I didn't understand that at the point after I traveled. Have y'all noticed that everyone always states this one thing? As I traveled the world, they always state this. It's like a common theme, because they're like, I learned so much, but I say this base thing that only someone who has never traveled anywhere will understand. Like I said, it's like rapid fire question. And the reason I brought both of these videos back to back is the Sneeko video was introspective, and this video was just me talking to a big name because I got somewhere and I want to get these talking points out there to get points with my team.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still clout. If I get Joe Rogan audience, Joe Rogan's against the big B word, the shot. He's against these things. So if I go in there and I spew this, and I can grow a bigger audience and I can get more money and all these things. And in the Sneeko video, you see him actually conversate on that idea and this insecurity and this thought process of, I was this unloved kid. Even though I don't know if Candace was, she's just probably a grifter. But he was like, I'm this unloved kid. And I'm just saying, I cringe at the, should I say? I know she has to too. So that's where it comes in. I cringe at I spit because it's just for attention. It's just for clout. And most people don't realize, most people will say what you want to hear just to get something out of it. They will say the exact things like, oh, how did you know me? How did you read me? And how would I know that? I was paid to understand what you want to hear. I was contracted to do that. A state senator was like, hey, make sure I know what everybody wants to know on this side of the aisle, just so I can market to them. And then when I asked about helping a certain group of people, he told me, I don't care about them. They already vote for me. Literally his words to me. This is a Democrat too, by the way. He's like, they already vote. I don't care. I need you to market to people. How can I manipulate this audience who's probably mostly conservative, but in a way Mississippi, but kind of can lean the other way? How can I get them? That's what I care about. The people that's liberal, the black people, the city was my color. They were like, how do I get them? That's your job. That's what you're paid to do. How do I write words? How do I market to them? How do I do this? And that's what it is. They have teams of people, Ruben. Even these syndicate people have teams of people who go through marketing. They do numbers, they do polls, they online, they on Twitter, they seeing what people saying, they know who to follow, what to agree with. Is Andrew Tate right now hot among Republicans? Okay, he said this and now they ain't feeling him no more. So let me back off. Okay, Trump is saying this. Do they still like him? Every once in a while he'll say something crazy and it look like a pole dip, and then somebody will peek out and say something. By the way, for y'all that don't know, Ron DeSantis just did this today. He saw a little drop in the poll and said, oh, it's a chance. So he attacked Trump a little bit, not hard, just to see if he can get in that gap. And then they come around. So that's how politics work. And this is how YouTube is starting to work. This is how things are starting to work. So it's always interesting about how discussions about clout, but somehow we got to politics. But again, that's the way I know. But but it's technically the same thing. But like in a lot of ways, it's who can be more popular is what politics is. How can I be the most popular? So anything you thought about, Ruben, the video, anything like that? Again, the link is in the chat. The Sneeko video or anything.
Well, I don't know, because again, you did go to politics, and I can definitely let you know that is very markedly not the same thing. Like at all, even a little bit, it's not. Like, I understand, because it's like, some people would think popularity has something to do with clout, but it's not the same thing, actually. And it's important to note, because like, okay, so you think about in high school, okay, because high school is a really good controlled area right? You've got the popular kids, the all right kids, and then the loser kids, right? Whatever. I'm just saying, just for example, right? Most schools are not quite that ridiculously regimented, like, like it's like a high school movie, but I'm just saying. Okay, so the popular kids, right? When you're thinking about popularity, they're not trading on clout or anything. They're just popular, right? They're popular because either everyone likes them or everyone fears them or everyone wants into whatever they've got going on, right? It's not a search for clout. In fact, if anything, when you're popular, the last thing you're doing is chasing clout, because then you're a follower and then you would basically lose points in a way. You'd lose popularity points for trying to chase clout. It's the middle people and maybe even the low people who are going to be trying to accumulate clout, because if you can get enough clout, maybe you can become popular. If you can get enough clout, then maybe you could become famous. But the clout thing in and of itself is not like the same thing as the popularity contest. And it's used in so many different ways, right? Like, for example, like maybe you might want to, I don't know, get a certain type of job, right? That would be a kind of clout if you know people who work there. So like when I worked for this one insurance company for the summer, right? I had the clout, i.e. the pull of one of my parents works at that company, right? So they basically put in a word for me that gave me clout versus all these other people, right? And that's what got me in. Now, I could tell you that there's a second thing that got me in for sure. And it's again, a clout factor is when I worked at this company, like I was doing personal shopping, and a lot of the big female bigwigs used to come into my store, and we were really cool. And like, I was their personal shoppers. So when they saw me and it was me applying for that job, I was getting that job. And I was super close to these huge people in the company, right? People like my parent didn't know at all. They weren't cool or anything, right? But I was, even though I was just lowly nobody, right? That's clout, right? So it's not about necessarily being popular. It's about being able to trade something to accumulate something else, right? And it doesn't necessarily have to be popularity. No one has to know you for you to have a lot of clout. You know what I mean? So I guess that's why, like, to me, I'm like, I kind of want to separate the two things, because I do think that they're really different. But I don't know. Maybe Shar disagrees, and it's all right, Shar. Listen, I am now almost a whole year older and wiser, so I can definitely take disagreement. Okay, I'm ready. What do you think, Shar?
I think that having wine with dinner on a Monday evening may not be a good thing for me. Yep.
So you gotta
That is good.
You gotta do 2 shots for the 2 birthdays.
That's what I was gonna say,
Sorry,
girl.
no,
It's
yours-
that birthday season. Go ahead.
Yours was 2, so it's 3. It's 3 shots.
That's true. You were within
Yeah,
the last
I'm
couple
gonna try
weeks.
to finish this up. I don't know how this is gonna work out. I only took 2 sips, so it ain't working too well. But I'm gonna try. But that's really why I came up to wish you guys a happy birthday.
Thank you.
And you are welcome. And many more.
Right? Same. This is the last time you get to wish me happy birthday, and I'm young. I'm still not putting a number on it, because I'm just gonna say it. Ashley really wants to know how old I am, and even though I've told people countless times, I'm just spiting her in particular, so I can't say it. However, this is the last time you can say happy birthday to me, and I'm young. As of next year, I'll be over the hill. I will be so far beyond the wall that, like, it will have smacked me, run me over, chewed me up, spit me out, and literally drained every last drop of beauty clout that I could have ever had. Sad.
I don't know. I think you still got it. I think you still got it and gonna have it. How about that?
Well, I mean, I don't like to brag or anything, but
Well, go ahead. I mean, since we're here.
Right, since we're here and everything, I mean, I might as well just say a little something, but,
Oh, Sean, I do got a question. How do you feel about the man in the dog suit?
That was reason number two, I was going to come up and just briefly talk about him as well as give you guys happy birthday wishes. Well, the guy in the suit, what's really going on is he just wanted to be somewhere like a little boy or a little man. That's what he kind of wanted. He didn't want any responsibility. He wants someone to baby him, pat him. Because if it would have been a owner that was a male, he wouldn't have done this. I'm just telling you now. He wants to climb into bed with her, sniff her crotch. You know, these are the things that this dude really wanted. This was not in the article, but I know he wants you to pat him and he go, you go, you a good boy. You want a treat? Yeah, I want a treat. And then you minding your business, lay in the bed, reading your book or magazine, and here he comes. Now, you know, it's the night light is on. He got his own spot, but no, he gonna come in the room with you. That's what he gonna do because that's all he wanted. He wants treats, and treats is you. He want you. He want to be pat, rubbed. He wants you to take care of him. He wants you to do everything. That's what's really going on. And I just wanted to let you know it wasn't in the article, but I know. I know.
I kind of feel like there's just easier ways to do it, though. I mean, I don't know. I think it might have been you and I, Shar, but it could have been something. But I really feel like we did this story of a girl who was a dog, you know, and she just crawled around, and she had like a collar, and they put a leash on her, but she was just a normal person in normal clothing. Like, and just stupid stuff, right? And her owner, aka her boyfriend, would walk her and stuff. Like, I just feel like it's so easy to just get away with just doing like that kind of stuff now. It's like for you to go to that extreme level where you fit yourself into like basically a real dog skin. Like, I feel like that's beyond, you know? That's
It is. It is, but see,
right?
he's more interesting that way. So once his owner gets tired of him, the first one, he can just somebody else is in line to take care of him. That's all this is. I'm telling you. That's what this is.
Do you
the
think
girl
people
that
know
was a
there's a
dog,
man in
she
there?
took care of herself.
What's that?
Like, do you think normal people, like when they walk by, do you think people know there's a person in there? Or do you think people think, okay, I think people think it's a real dog, and then the way it moves, it's not real, but I think they think it's like a toy. I don't think people think it's
I think
like a person.
I think they think it's a toy. I think they had to think it's a toy. Yes, because they were petting it.
Yeah,
Like,
starts off that way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think they 100%.
Yeah, that starts off that way, and then it's a conversation, and oh, that is so cool. Let me take some pictures, and he's making note of all of this. Don't think he is. Don't think he is.
Again, he got attention. He got 1.7 million views off that.
Yeah, he got the password to all the social media sites. He's gonna be going through to see who his next victim, owner would be. I'm telling you, that's what he doing. Oh yeah.
Hey, Shaw, I did like the fact that he went around and stated clearly that he don't tell his friends this because they think he's weird.
Well, they already knew that about him anyway, so you know, nothing new.
You could try to hide it. Listen, even if they don't know this particular weird thing, they know you are weird, right? Like, they know you're off. So I'm sure they're not surprised. Like, yeah, he is the kind of person who would do that, right? Like, that's what you do when you know someone's your friend. You know the kind of brand of weird your friends are, right? Like, you do. So you're not surprised. Oh, yeah, he's attracted to his car. Yeah, he's that kind of guy, right? Like, it's just like you wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. So
shout out to Taco, man. Taco said he got the $14,000 is crazy. $14,000 to walk around as a dog is insane.
Hey, listen, Shar has the most breakup stories ever in life. So Rosalind said that, it started to sound a little personal, Shar. So I guess my question would be, and I'm sure Don TZ's wondering as well, Was there ever a breakup that maybe involved a little too much weirdness, and you saw it and you went, oh, this dude trying to trap me and make me walk him like a dog, and I'm not for that. Is that what's happening here?
Or did you break up with him because he didn't let you walk him like a dog?
Let's see. Let me think about this. Now I know as far as weirdness, there's a guy, he had a story for everything. And I knew something wasn't right. I'm like, no, he got a story for everything. And I'm like, it doesn't make sense to me. So just realized that he was a liar. That's all that was. He was a liar. He had to get some attention some kind of way. So he had this, this happened to him, that happened to him. This happened to his friend. Now, there was one story that was true. His friend did die in a car accident, but all the other stories were just total lies to try to get sympathy, change the subject, those type of things. And yeah, it didn't work out too well for him. You're right, Dunteezy. You're right. Hey, that's not true, Dante. Take it back.
I know we need to get like the catch a flight thing. Every time Dante wants to come for Shar, starting it again. He's starting up.
Right.
But no, I think yes. It was so good. It was really good. See, I'm gonna have to educate Zell because Zell missed that era. So I'm gonna have to educate him. Be like, here you go. Just watch this. Or any one of the videos. It always happens because Don TZ always wants to come for Charter dating experience. So I'm just saying. But no, okay. So I have a question. Because Char, I think you've been around in these streets way longer than me. Just in general, and you're more observant because whereas I come so I can come run my mouth somewhere. Let's be real, it wasn't really to pay attention for a long time. You pay attention, you're observant. So the question is, right, in these streets, do you think it's more about trying to get clout, or do you think it's more about being an incel trying to get women, or do you think it's both? They think if they get enough clout, they can finally get a woman. Which one do you think it is?
I would say 75% clapping them cheeks, 25% clout.
Clapping cheeks. See, for example, Just Jay. That's one of the terminologies that Mama Rubes did not know. And then goes, what does clapping cheeks mean? Because he just really doesn't know. But I agree.
I found out I gotta always come in on the emote game. Miss Mama Rubes and got strong at the emote game.
Someone's training her. I don't know, but no, I think I 100% agree with you, and I think that's part of the issue, right? So you've got Sneeko. I wanted to talk about the Sneeko thing just for a second because. So you've got Sneeko with the ex-girlfriend who is the one who cucked him, right? Who said, I want to have an open relationship so you can sleep with someone else too. But then they both went to kind of do it at the same time. And then he couldn't follow through, but the girlfriend did. And then he just sat on the bed and watched and then got up and couldn't take the heartbreak. But that was the queen of his heart. That's the whole story. Fine. And then you've got Xena, right? Okay. So, and apparently Xena's his girlfriend, but he's lying about Xena being his girlfriend. Yes, so here's the interesting part, right? I mean, between the two, maybe Xena's less attractive, right? In general, but she's an attractive enough girl. She holds him down, I guess, because she was an OnlyFans girl. So he wants to kind of hide his association that he would date an OnlyFans girl, I guess, right? But he admitted the whole cuck story thing and then still said that he's in love with her and she's the queen of his heart. And then everyone called him a cuck and he said, yeah, I'm a cuck. So to me, it's like, okay, he's saying he's there just to chase clout like everybody else. But like, does he understand what that means? Because I feel like if you were going to chase clout, you wouldn't tell people the cuck story, right? Like, I mean, at the very least, right? Or like, why would you tell people that story if you were here to chase clout? I think that's the thing.
Wait. He got kind of what he wanted. He was on Agent them show,
Mm-hmm.
and he got a viral moment because that story was like, everybody like, what is he saying? This is insane. You get TikToks out of it. You get a bunch of different stuff. He hated the result at the end of the day because it like haunts him. But you get that viral story, and then he laughs like, "How this gonna give me attention?" And sometimes you don't like the attention, but that's because a lot of times I notice a lot of people on a lot of these shows get on, and the first thing they want to do is say something about it. You see John Zerka do it. You see all these people. I didn't notice that. Like, you get on these shows, I gotta say something viral. You see just random things who falling off right now, and now everybody's mad at her. She just like Ben Shapiro, like she's never coming on my show again. But she never went on. But she's like got just like basically stopped her from coming on after releasing the video about the song or why we can't talk about those people. so she's canceled. So again, she goes on the show. She just says the most outrageous thing because she knows it's gonna get clicks. And I think that's the thing. I don't know if Clout always gonna lead to more success, but that initial boost. Even Sneeko said in that video, you always chasing that first viral moment. And I think that was like his first truly viral moment. I know he had like something with Mr. Beast's name, but that was his viral moment. And I think he's still trying to figure a way to chase it. So he hook himself up with whoever's popping in the room, whether it's Andrew Tate, whether it's John Zerka doing well because of all the attention and stuff. So
yeah, you can't live off somebody else's vibes, someone else's what is it, maturity and whatever. That doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. You can get that moment. It doesn't last that long, and once it's over, it's over.
That's true. That is very true.
And that's what happens to most of these folks. I mean, they have one viral moment if you realize it. Just one.
yeah. We have Mama Rubes here.
Greetings, Mama Rubes, and congratulations.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, I had to come upstairs. My husband was yelling. Yeah, I wanted to get on here. I'm not really a talker. I'm a listener. That's why I'm a therapist. But I wanted to get on here and just, first of all, to tell you guys happy birthday.
Thank you.
And then
Thank
I
you.
also wanted to let you know, I appreciate the both of you allowing that Black excellence about me to be aired on your show. It really means a lot. It touched my heart, made me cry again and again. And thank you. Thank you, Jessica. Oh, thank you, Classic Ruby. Sorry. and
Ruby is the best, isn't she? She is the best.
And Zell, I appreciate all the comments that you guys made, and it makes me feel really amazing. I feel really affirmed, and I feel really supported. And I wanted to let you know that you guys should continue to do these things because it does make a difference in our lives. So thank you so much, guys.
Oh, thank you. You are amazing.
Congratulations.
And congratulations.
Yes.
Thank
Well,
you.
I told you, I'm just thankful you allowed us to play it because my original plan, everyone knew it. My original plan was just like, oh, you're going to come into the party, and then I was just going to like kind of surprise you with it playing. But I wasn't sure with all the personal information if you would be okay with me playing it. So I appreciate you allowing us to air it. And I appreciate you, more importantly, being Black excellence. Or, well, no, Black excellence doesn't exist. That's what they say. That's why we came up with Ebony excellence. So I appreciate you being Ebony excellence and being a good example. I mean,
Thank you.
And it's just something a lot of people have heard me speak about my parents in a lot of ways, but speaking specifically about all these efforts that y'all made when I was a kid. A lot of things I didn't necessarily get or whatever. But the efforts you put in to always kind of try to protect me from certain knowledges. Like, for example, we didn't have enough food for both of us to eat today, or, you know, to try to give me better and better until we moved into this house that I live in now. And, you know, all of the things, the sprinkling the credit card pieces around. Every card was maxed out, y'all. Every card was maxed out. And she was just crying. She didn't have $3 to put gas in the car to go to my grandparents' house to borrow money from them. So she got the big scissors and told me I could cut up those cards. And so I'm sitting there cutting them up. It's a big joke to me. I was like 7, 8 years old. I didn't understand what was happening. And then we're driving around like Square One area, and I'm sprinkling them outside, and I'm laughing. I'm having the time of my life. I did not understand the seriousness of the situation in that moment, right? I remember doing it and being part of it, but I didn't know it's that bad. Like, and she tried to tell me it was that bad. I think in that moment she was trying to say, this is your situation, you know, gas, okay, we got to go get some gas money for grandmas and whatever. But I don't think I processed, because again, it was never like, if you remember, I used to think like money was no object, like to the point where I would see your bank balance and say, why wouldn't you let me get a new bike? You've got money right there. I didn't understand, right? And you allowed me to be protected in that way, so that way I could focus on kid stuff, right? And not focus on adult stuff, you know, too early.
This is true.
And to watch to watch you deliver newspapers. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to deliver newspapers and seen how little it pays. But to watch this itty bitty teeny weeny woman deliver newspapers in her broken car.
It gave the mortgage payment.
That's what I mean.
Classic. Also, Rubes, I wanted also to let you know that you maybe weren't planned, but you're not a mistake. So stop saying that, okay? You are not.
I said an accident. I said an accident. To be fair.
Well, I don't know about accident either, because nothing is really an accident when, you know, hey, people are busy doing hey, you know, so no. Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was an accident. I'm just saying. The reality would suggest to me I was an accident. I'm okay with being an accident. I didn't say it was a mistake or, oh, like, you take me back if you could. But I'm just saying.
So just want to
I was
set
an
the
accident.
record clear online. Okay. All right.
I'm okay with it.
Well,
did y'all see how beautiful I was as a child? Like, I was the greatest, most beautiful gift / accident ever. So that's fine. I'm good with that. I'm
You're
just
pretty
saying.
amazing. You still are pretty awesome. Yeah.
Right? I try to tell everyone all the time, but no, for real. You know, there's so many things. I could go on and on. Like, you don't understand. It was hard to make the video only 10 minutes long, because I could go on and on and on and on working at Federal Express and meeting that one gentleman that you gave a shot when no one else would, and how much that changed his life, and he felt the need to tell me. You know, so many of these areas, so many of these places. So I'm just really blessed and happy. And I'm so glad she was able to come up, and y'all were able to hear Mama Rubes in the flesh. See, she really does listen to the shows, y'all. When I say that, and I say, hey, listen, I'm not posing, I'm not lying, I'm not just saying stuff. Like, I really speak the truth about my life, and, you know, whatever. And people in my real world watch this. Now y'all have the evidence. Oh, I was surprised. What? Really?
Friends. Family, what?
Hey, Rosalind. Oh. I was definitely surprised. But was I a positive one?
Char said if you came to YouTube, you'd be.
That would have been good. Yeah, we should have. We really should have. I'm a surprise and a blessing. Y'all are hilarious. These two try to listen, clean it up. I was an accident. It's fine, right? Like, listen. I was a happy accident, right? No, I was not. Like, I don't know. I'm just saying. Listen, we should have a show on shotgun marriages. Okay, that's what we need to do. Want to tell me something? Y'all ain't gonna get me today. No, I'm kidding. But for real though, you know, I think it's such an important subject. I feel like we should talk about stuff like that even more often, because we kind of don't talk about it. Like we have a lot of people in, you know, the Black community who either are single parents or who are raised by single parents and whatever. And we kind of like a lot of times in this space, we talk a lot about like the whose fault is it kind of conversation, because that's pointful. But we don't talk about a lot of other things. Like we don't talk about, hey, how do you still, you know, reach for the stars or become successful given the surprise / happy accident, right? In your life, or hey, what can you do to turn this from a tragedy and a mistake into something more positive that, you know, benefits everyone? Or, you know, we don't really have those kinds of conversations. Maybe we should.
We do. Again, it goes into this thing in which when it's easy to monetize someone's hurt than giving them the like, oh, you can do it. It's like, it's so strange because it's like, okay, y'all are hurt because you didn't have your father in your life. Let me be a father figure to you. So it's like, and then, but it's these people's fault that you are unsuccessful or things like that. So it feels like it's so much easier to monetize thanks to the algorithms and stuff, because all the people you see growing kind of does like things that might not be. But that's why I love this show, by the way. I like, listen, that moment, all these moments have been amazing. I'd rather have those moments than just me and Ruby like, you're a woman. And she's like, you're a man and you suck. Like, and spend like 3 hours just arguing over that. I felt like this was more helpful. Listen to Miss Marjorie's story about how she overcame things. And I got stories too I can tell of my father was a sharecropper and stuff like that. And the old thing, you know, I did tell it like kind of in my book, but I made it. But those things are so, like, you don't hear those things. And I like, when I went over to Florida store, those are the things I want to go over. Like, these amazing people made it out of horrible situations. You can too. You don't have to be entrenched in your bad situation. I know the situation, I know life's not fair, but you can overcome it, because when I talk to young people, it's like once something bad happens, it's over. It's like, oh, I need something to blame to make myself feel better. Oh, I ain't gonna live to 21. It don't matter. Let me just go rob people. It don't matter. I ain't gonna live. So you always want to hear stories like Miss Marjorie's, like my parents, and like other people that are in the thing, and the other people in Black culture that survived. I want to show more of the dance when everybody do the electric slide and have fun, because that's the part of our community that people don't see.
Or talk about more so. But I will say this before I go. That is something that I tried to talk about. No, I'm not going to even say tried. There were stories that I did find, and I did discuss certain things like that. We came up with solutions. The chat, they also participated. And also when I found things that could help people, I posted it on a community tab. So if there were, you know, whatever it was that could help you, coupons or programs, hey, I was posting it. And you guys could do the same, you know?
That's true. That is true. And I mean, to a large extent, you know, it's a difficult balance, right? Because on one side, I mean, I guess that's exactly what we want to do. On the other side, if we don't, to some extent, chase the clout, right, of various types of stories, like, for example, being able to put Sneeko in a title, right? Just being able to, that is going to boost the search power in the search engine, or, you know, whatever. So there's a fine line, unfortunately, where if you don't, you know, chase some clout to some extent, then you don't get that boost. There is no reward for making quality content. There's just not. They don't care. They don't care that you're making quality content. They care that you are rage farming, aggro farming, sadness farming, whatever it is that brings in a lot of clicks, right? If you can't make yourself go viral, get a lot of clicks, they're not rewarding you for high quality content, for a lot of effort, for deep moving discussion. Let's push that out to the masses. No, that's not what they're trying to do. So it's hard. It's a hard balance to try to find.
It is. But you guys are doing well. And
Thank you.
just keep having more birthdays and coming back and giving us great stories. We would definitely be here to support.
Aw, thank you, Shar. Appreciate you.
Well, you all have a good night, and I'll talk to you on your next birthday. You know, you'll be a year older after when I talk to you again, okay?
Hey, no. Tear. Okay,
Don't
I'll
cry.
talk to you then. Tear.
No tears. Cheers.
I'm sucking it up. Okay, we're good.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if y'all noticed. I completely shaved my beard just to feel younger.
Wow.
Hey,
That's great. Thank you. That makes me feel better.
Listen. I'm feeling young. I look younger than I ever had. Look, I shaved the whole beard off. It ain't gruffy or nothing. Look at it. We made it.
Okay.
Zell's like a child, though. He's like 10 years younger than me. Like, Zell's very young. I don't know what he's talking about, but anyway, like, really, we are not similar in age at all. Like, Zell is not nowhere near my age. So the fact that he's calling himself old, you know what? Listen, I now understand why all these people who are older than me were insulted when I'd freak out at my age come 28. I'm like, I get it now. Like, so what do you think about me then in my age? I get why Vonda said it like last year. I get it. I'm starting to understand now. Like, how dare y'all say this kind of stuff, right? Like, are you trying to call me old? Like, what's up?
Hey, listen, we still look in the 20s, so we win. That's all.
Oh my god.
Forever
goodness.
25.
Just give me a pension. I don't care how old I look. That's what I got to say.
We're gonna get Shaw this pension. Somehow, some way.
Thank you.
I'll be that news. It's gonna be a pension builder. Girl, we're gonna become a conglomerate, and then we will get you a pension. That's what's gonna happen.
We like Shaw working in the chat as a mod. We gotta pay her. She's the only mod getting paid.
Well, right now she's the only mod, I think, besides us. Yeah. I don't think we'd have another mod at the moment. Yes. So we appreciate you for showing up unpaid every week, Shar. We don't get paid either. It makes you feel any better. So like, subscribe so we can get paid.
No worries.
Like and subscribe, share this with people so that way we can get enough subscribers and we can all get paid. All of us. Thanks. Yeah. Appreciate you.
All right.
So they said no more than 60. All right, we're going to get out of here. We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for the show. It was amazing. We've been enjoying our birthday. You might see Ruby Thursday.
Maybe. Because my birthday is on Wednesday, so I don't know. I'm trying. I barely made it here today. If I didn't have the Ebony Excellence, I'm not sure I would have made it. I'm not even lying. I have very little care, but it's just because I don't work on my birthday, you know? And I only have one more year to be able to be that much of a princess before it's really no longer cute, you know? Speaking of which, I'll be wearing my Fresh Princess shirt if I do show up on Thursday. Just saying. Okay.
All right. Okay. Yeah, have a good one. Appreciate Shaw for coming through. Appreciate Mama Rubes and everybody. All right.
Mama Rubes.
We're out of here.